So the Bills absolutely annihilated the Rams last night to start off the NFL season. And one of the more evident takeaways I had from the game is that Jalen Ramsey is no longer the best corner in football. I'm going to break down the film on why, but before I do that, please do me a favor and hit like and subscribe. It's going to boost the algorithm, and if you don't, your favorite team will lose this week, and I know that for a fact, so do it. So let's start off with the Rams' defensive scheme. Ever since Brandon Staley was hired by the Chargers 2 years ago and they brought in Raheem Morris as their defensive coordinator, they really switched out of their traditional man coverage style and went to a shell coverage where you're going to have a lot of zone coverage, specifically cover 3 and quarters. So right here on the first play of the season, the Bills just have easy access to hit an easy square in, and this isn't Jalen Ramsey's fault. I just want to break down what the Rams defense is before I go forward. And they like to put him in the slot sometimes out wide. They like to mix it up because they feel like often Jalen Ramsey would just neutralize one receiver, but besides that, he was irrelevant. It's kind of like the Deion Sanders thing where you would put him on one receiver and he would lock him down, but he had no impact on the rest of the play. So when the Rams went to a shell coverage, they trust him to make plays in the open field, and that's why they put him there. As you can see right here, he just makes an amazing tackle on Josh Allen. And when Jalen Ramsey sits in this shell coverage all the time and has these little routes right in front of him, where when he's in a deep third, he can't do much about that, he gets a little impatient. And the Bills know that Jalen Ramsey's going to get impatient because he wants to be around the football. So Jalen Ramsey right here is in a deep third. And what the Bills do is they're in 22 personnel or 2 running backs, 2 tight ends. They're going to chop down Gabe Davis, acting like he's going to block. And then he just catches Jalen Ramsey lacking. Jalen Ramsey with no discipline right there whatsoever. And here's another example. We all saw this play last night. This was the dagger. The Rams are in a quarters coverage here, where these 4 defensive backs have to match up on the deepest receiver in their respective quarter of the field. And right here, Jalen Ramsey, I don't know if he got his eyes looking at Dawson Knox or what the deal was, but Diggs just runs right by him. That is inexcusable. Also notice that sometimes he's not confident in his decisions on making the play on the ball, and he doesn't make the right read often. Right here, we're going to have a post-wheel concept by the Bills here at the top of the screen, and the Rams are going to be in a cover 3 with 2 seam droppers. Bobby Wagner right here, and then this safety at the bottom of the field. They're going to be the 2 seam droppers. These 3 guys are going to be playing the deep thirds, and as the ball is snapped, we're going to have this post and wheel. And this dig, obviously, Jalen Ramsey has no chance to play it, but he still keeps his eye on it. You have to go to the wheel route. The wheel route is the only thing that you can make a play on. I get it, Bobby Wagner doesn't have enough depth to really make a play on this dig, but there's no chance you do either in your outside position, so you just have to go to the wheel route, and he doesn't do that in time. And here's another example of where Jalen Ramsey's reaction time needs to be a slim quicker. Right here, we're going to have an out route by the number 3 receiver in the Bills offense, Jamison Crowder, and the Rams are in a cover 2, and if you're a cover 2 corner and you have an out route coming your way, that is a dream scenario. He reacts about a half a second late here. The moment that Jamison Crowder stems his out route, he should be flying that way. He doesn't. And if he did, either 2 things would have happened. Jamison Crowder would have been in the hospital, or Jalen Ramsey would have a pick 6. So now let's switch gears and talk about Jalen Ramsey and man-to-man last night, which has been the strength of his career for about the first 6 years of his career until the Rams switched to a shell defense. So the Rams only run man coverage about 20% of the time with their shell-predominant defense. And right here, he had pretty solid coverage, but Diggs had a beautiful ball throw to him. Right here, Jalen Ramsey's in the slot guarding the number 2 receiver, and the Rams are going to disguise this as a shell, but in reality, it's off-man coverage. And Jalen Ramsey doesn't get targeted there, but the slot receiver, Isaiah McKenzie, gets about 3 yards of separation on that end cut. Sometimes quarterbacks aren't confident enough and are just too scared to throw Jalen Ramsey's way, and I don't think this should be the case. I think sometimes they should go after Jalen Ramsey, as he does get beaten man coverage a little bit. As right here, Stephon Diggs is going to have an inside release corner out, as the Rams aren't even going to try to disguise this man coverage. And he has him beat there towards the sideline, and Josh Allen just doesn't want to throw it. Right here we have Ramsey pressing Gabe Davis, who's going to run a post while the Rams are in cover 1 man. And Gabe Davis actually gets a lot of separation, but Josh Allen has to step up in the pocket, and he didn't have the pocket time to throw it downfield. But look at him in this man's career. Oh my God. One of the hardest things to do if you're a wide receiver is beat Jalen Ramsey on an outside release route or an outside release fade. Right here, Gabriel Davis tries everything in his route tree to stem Jalen Ramsey off, and Jalen Ramsey's just extremely disciplined. Josh Allen knows he has a one-on-one here. When he had to thread that needle into Stephon Diggs earlier on that outside release, that had to be an unbelievably accurate pass. It is extremely hard to beat Jalen Ramsey on these routes, and he's still one of the best man-to-man corners. This just proves the respect that Jalen Ramsey has. I mean, Josh Allen's just going to give him one look and then go back the other way, even knowing he has one-on-one coverage. I'd like to see quarterbacks this year take a chance on Jalen Ramsey in these situations because traditionally they haven't, but Jalen Ramsey's shown signs of weaknesses. If I'm the Rams, I don't know if I'm going to continue with the shell coverage moving forward after Thursday night. Right here, they're going to be in an off-man coverage, and Jalen Ramsey just gets an insider release and gets absolutely torched. Jalen Ramsey's so much better when he gets hands on you. So here are my final takeaways. If I'm the Rams defensive coordinator, Raheem Morris, what I'm doing is I'm getting Jalen Ramsey out of this shell coverage. And I'm saying, you know what? You might not make as many tackles around the line of scrimmage if you're playing press man. We got to give you the ability to lock down the opposing wide receiver one, because that's what you do best. Because clearly he's getting impatient with this whole zone shell coverage thing. And maybe the Rams can't do that as a whole because their defense, they don't really have a solid cornerback too. But what I would do if I were the Rams, I would play a lot of cover 6, a lot of cover 3 lock, a lot of ways that you can man up Jalen Ramsey, but have the rest of the field in a zone coverage. I think that's what would be the best scheme fit for the Rams moving forward. And if I'm an offensive coordinator and Jalen Ramsey still showing signs of being an impatient corner, I'm testing him. I'm giving, my receivers 6-7 targets on Jalen Ramsey a game just to test him out, because the Bills just did that and he gave up 124 yards. So, yeah, very interesting. I don't want to overreact, but Jalen Ramsey certainly had a terrible game and is not showing too good signs of awareness heading in to the rest of the season. So we'll see how it ages from here. He's still one of the best corners in the game. There's no doubt about that. You saw that when he did play man coverage. So hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're still here, make sure to drop a comment on what games you want me to review this week, because I can't wait for the football. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.